I cannot criticize my parents for hoping that I would never experience poverty. They had been poor themselves, and I have been poor since. And I quite agree with them that it is not an ennobling experience. Poverty entails fear and stress, and sometimes depression. It meets with 1,000 petty humiliations and hardships. Climbing out of poverty by your own efforts is something on which to pride yourself. But poverty itself is romanticized only by fools. J.K. Rowling, 2008, Harvard Commencement Speech. J.K. Rowling is one of the most well-known authors in modern time, and her work transcends race, gender, and age. The Harry Potter series is world-renowned and will have a lasting impact on generations to come. When I began to consider this speech, I was overwhelmed by the breadth of the topic, famous person. There are so many important and influential people in our world. After consideration, I wanted to research someone about whom I have a baseline knowledge, has had a personal impact on me, and would be relevant and interesting to you. Having read all of the Harry Potter books, listened to all of them in audio format, and watched all of the movies, more times than I care to admit, I figured J.K. Rowling would be a perfect choice. Since then, I have unearthed an entire world, other than that of myth and magic, about this amazing woman. Today, I will discuss Rowling's beginnings in her family, her plummet to near total impoverishment, and her meteoric rise to wealth, notoriety, and success. First, let's take a pensive look back in time. Rowling grew up with an ordinary childhood. As self-admonished in her 2008 Harvard commencement speech, both of her parents came from an impoverished background. However, this did not prevent them from overcoming the challenges. We learned from Wikipedia that Rowling's father was an aircraft engineer working for Rolls-Royce. Her mother, a science technician, worked several jobs, including a teacher at the secondary school she attended. She has a younger sister by almost 2 years. Her name is Diana. And, interesting fact, her name is Joanne, Jo for short. She has no middle name. K is for Kathleen, her paternal grandmother. In the article 7 Things You Don't Know About J.K. Rowling, we found out that her parents met at King's Cross Station, near the now famous Platform 9 3/4. Rowling loved to write from a very young age. Jo is quoted in the incredible Rags to Riches story of J.K. Rowling as saying, "As soon as I knew what writers were, I wanted to be one. I've got the perfect temperament for a writer. Perfectly happy alone in a room, making things up." She wrote her first story at the age of 6, and during the 2008 Harvard speech, explained that she enjoyed entertaining family and friends with her stories and imagination. Now we will turn time to the dark days of the story. Rowling hit rock bottom before the Harry Potter series came to life. Wikipedia tells us much about this season of Jo's life. Rowling's mother died in 1990 after a 10-year struggle with multiple sclerosis. After her mother's death, she moved to Portugal to teach English, where she met and married TV journalist Jorge Arantz. Jo suffered several miscarriages before finally giving birth to their daughter, Jessica Isabel Rowling Arantz. Again, during the Harvard speech, she explains, an exceptionally short-lived marriage had imploded 13 months after it began. Wikipedia continues to tell us, following the miscarriages, divorce, and subsequent single parenthood, Jo was diagnosed with clinical depression and contemplated suicide. Also, that she moved back to England and, after living with family, struggled penniless in a tiny apartment on public assistance. During the Rags to Riches interview, Rowling explained that there was nowhere to go from there but up. The Elephant House, a small cafe in Edinburgh, is where Rowling wrote most of the Harry Potter story. This location now symbolizes recovery from her years in poverty. We make our final apparition to the current day. Rowling, now in a post-Harry Potter world, is rich, famous, and successful. Also discussed in the Rags to Riches interview, we learned that 3 days after the first Harry Potter books were published in the UK, Scholastic bid $100,000 for the publishing rights in the United States. That is an unprecedented amount of money for a children's story. The 7-book series has sold more than 450 million copies. A Google search teaches us that the Potter books have been translated into 68 languages. The 2017 Guinness Book of World Records still reports Rowling as the first and only writer to become a billionaire based on their writing alone. This honor came in 2004. As reported in Forbes magazine, Jo is one of the wealthiest and most influential women in the world. In 2011, she was number 1,140 on the billionaire list. In 2013, she captured the number 93 spot on the Power Women's list. And this year, 2017, she is number 3 on the Celebrity 100 list. Now, let's board the Hogwarts Express from the Hogsmeade Station, return to King's Cross, and the end of this presentation. We have discussed J.K. Rowling's family and educational influences, the dark times she spent struggling in poverty, and how she was able to rise above them all to become a rich, famous, and successful author. I would like to leave you with this sentiment. Regardless of the hand we are dealt, through hard work, perseverance, and the love and support of family and friends, success is always attainable. J.K. Rowling is a living example of the fact that anything is possible, even magic.